Starting off with Melanie Power, who is our poetry contest winner. Yay, Melanie. Woo-hoo. Melanie is Montreal-based poet, but is from St. John's, Newfoundland and Labrador. Her debut, Full Moon of Afraid and Craving, came out in 2022 with McGill-Queen's University Press. Right now, she's doing an interdisciplinary PhD in oral history and creative writing at Concordia University, which sounds super interesting. And I think Melanie's going to read her prize-winning poem for us. Welcome, Melanie.
Thank you. Thank you. Can everyone hear me okay? It's all good? Okay. Yeah, so I will start by reading my so-called prize-winning poem, Ode to the Bake Apple. I just wanted to thank the judges, T. Liam, Douglas Walburn Gove, and Bertrand Bickersteth, who chose the poem, and also to everyone at the Fiddlehead. It was really an honor to win. I was really delighted and surprised. Yeah, so this poem is an ode to a berry. For those that don't know, and you might not know if you're not from Newfoundland, it's a regional berry that is traditionally harvested in Newfoundland, and it's called the bake apple. Ode to the bake apple. Why invoke the apple at all, whose size and rainbow of varieties dwarf this modest fruit? Though the berry's beginning, it's true, is apple red, firm, not born on a bush, but low and sparse, like a prophet parting the moss on marshes. Elsewhere they call it cloudberry, for its cumulus-like clumps. But our language is tailor-made, stolen or inherited, just like the landscape. The bake apple, like blackberries, unfurls as a bundle of spheres, though diverges in hue from a day-old bruise. The bake apple is humble-colored, orange-yellow, no, nothing like gold. Yet this fruit is not unlike a precious gem, given its rarity. Last year extorting $80 a gallon, and I knew someone who knew someone who in Bauline found a good patch of some. Of course, the Condens told no one. For the bake apple, to ripen is to lighten, mellowing as it does into a subtler honey color. But forget notions of viscous sweetness. Its taste is no nectar. It is tang, thinner. Strange how you shiver, but this berry is a slap, bitter. One is enough to flood the mouth with the tart history of wind-haunted bogs, the squelch of souls into wet ground, stink of sea in hair, woods on all your clothes. Unlike the deep-poured strawberry adored the world over, the bake apple's taste is acquired. Too much itself, like a teenager. Strong-willed, as rejecting as the tundra from which it was plucked. Those blessed with patience hold out till end of season. Overripe then, they fall in sweet clots, too soft, straight up jam on the vine. My cousin has a bake apple tattooed on her inner wrist, the private skin where a lover might kiss, because we know this berry is not just fruit, it is symbol. A pain in the arse to pick, these berries hug close to earth, occurring rarely in easy clusters. It's back-breaking work, your grandmothers know, not to mention the hours afterward, your great aunt's nimble fingers culling the hull from each one over a beef bucket. Such tedium. Devilish for a fruit to make you toil so much for a taste. Yet on every peninsula we wait all winter to smear fresh bake apple jam onto buttered toast. The marriage of marshy sweetness with rich, milky salt. Unlike blueberries, known to stain, hands streaked with bake apples wash quite clean. Their mark, like prayer, is something hushed, internal. Yeah, so the next two poems I'm going to read are, thanks for the hearts. Um, the next two poems I'm going to read are also odes to other berries. I have a lot of these, slowly amassing a manuscript accidentally. And the next one is called Ode to the Marshberry. And this is written for Burnett Barter, who's a family member of mine. And this is based on a couple of conversations that we had. She lives on the Port-au-Port Peninsula in Newfoundland. So this poem takes place there. Ode to the Marshberry. Into your backyard bog with buckets to face the wind, engine clamor filling empty miles of barrens. Your quad's tires easy cleave through peat, gas stench hovering its tracks, thick parallel trenches. These your labors to stock the deep freeze with the winter supply of these pink red berries. The cranberry's little sister, spoiled by your longtime love. Survivor of flame and frost, still tart, but time has rendered it slightly sweeter, this fruit, the quintessence of its genus. The shrub's humble flowered boughs, pink petals pulled backward in its sheepish pose. Undeterred even by snowfall, this plant persists through winter. The marshland's carpet, vine-like stems and leathery leaves, it doesn't hang, it creeps. As kids, feet fossilizing grass in the school's backlot marsh with sisters, your nose is full of chimney smoke. You'd stuff your woolen mittens with berries to carry into classrooms. Sweetness to sustain attention for English lessons. This coast cold enough to clip ya. How does this plant grow? Why does this barren soil bear a berry at all? Because mothers, their kerosene-lit houses of 10 or more mouths to feed. Mothers, they needed this fruit, alchemized sugar berry water into jam, stored it in crocks to stack on the cold back porch. Your mother's pie recipes written not on paper but uttered into air, from her mother's lips passed down, forked into your red-stained mouth. Your busy hands found her way, cold butter beaded by fingers into flour, rolled onto naked counter. Like strands of hair into braids, you weave lattices atop a bed of this jammed red fruit. Great. So that was the marshberry. So we're done the bake apple, the marshberry. Now we have the dogberry. So I'm going to the ode to the dogberry now. And this one is more based on my experience because dogberries are quite common in St. John's where I grew up. So this is like basically from my perspective. Ode to the dogberry. Tomato red, this star-arsed fruit. Is it not absurd that as the city's rain and snow coalesce into clumps, black ice slick under slush, this canine named berry somehow endures? Clusters of red, implausible in such winter, dangling from laden boughs, candied in ice against cornflower sky. Berries which are not berries at all, it seems, instead, berry-like poems, pedants lisp. Most edible after frost saps their bitterness, dog berries are best boiled, distilled into an aunt's neighbor's mother's recipe for dogberry wine. A whack of them in fall is harbinger of a shit winter. Who can name another soothsayer fruit offering prophecies within range of a Tim Hortons? Red cups or red fruit, forgotten at the foot of mountain ashes. Tree, a common backdrop of common girlhoods. Our numb-fingered nights loitering in school parks, sourcing amber bottled boldness from a too bright corner store, its disenchanted clerk. Unleashing into evening the teenage urge to rave and pose, loose tongues spilling glitter in the cold dark. In our wake, the ground dotted with dogberries, flattened fruit framed in snow by boot tracks. That's it. Those are my three poems. Thank you for listening.
Thank you so much, Melanie. They were full of sensuous yum. You also took me back to dogberries because when I was growing up, we would throw them at each other.
Yeah, they're a weapon for sure.
We'd pelt each other with them.
Yeah.
So thank you for that. All right, excellent. Carrying on then.